This is Pastor Kevin Lindley from Winston Assembly of God, and tonight we're doing the Holy Spirit Chronicles Part 19. It's Tuesday night, April 14th. Tomorrow's tax days, for those of you that need to be kind of thinking about that. But I'm going to begin again with the whole concept of when I had passed away 3 times and went to heaven, and give you a little bit of the prologue going into that. So let's go ahead and dive into this. A lot of this is taken from the book that was done, Stories That Bridge the Gap, and by Darren Lindley's company, Good Catch Publishing. A Space and a Time in History. On September 11, 2001, America was rocked to the core when terrorists ran 2 airliners into the World Trade Center in New York City. Shocked and horrified, we watched from our televisions that morning as smoke bellowed from the remnants of the once towering buildings. The terrorist attack spread to another place, crashing into the Pentagon, and it became apparent that America was under attack. Then President George W. Bush held a press conference, trying to keep his composure as he promised to seek justice for these terrible acts perpetrated upon the United States. I was once again reminded how quickly life could be snatched away. Little did I know that I'd face that reality head on in just a few months. A very good and full life. Saturday, December 15, 2001, began like any other day. After recovering from the flu earlier that week, I decided I felt well enough to attend a family member's wedding in Gig Harbor, Washington, with Allison. With just 2 weeks until Christmas, our lives were very busy. The kids kept us on the go with various activities, and I remained active at school where I taught and coached. I'd gained a good reputation since I'd begun there, and was loved by both the parents and the students. I often thought about returning to ministry someday, but tucked the idea in the back of my mind for the time being. I now made a decent income and was considering further study into a master's program in education. I was serving as an elder in the church we attended, and Allison was employed full-time as the church secretary. We were very busy with our family and church activities. But we were still asking God to bless what we were doing, instead of asking Him how our lives could be a blessing to Him. Confronted with death. After making the 2-hour drive home from the wedding, I suddenly became sick once again. I went to the bathroom to throw up, and as I did, a sharp pain shot down my back. The pain did not let up, but grew in intensity. I could now hardly breathe. There was a strong feeling of suffocation that overwhelmed me. In the mirror, my countenance had turned grayly sick. At this point, I was convinced I was having a heart attack and that death was imminent. I yelled for Allison to call 911 and our pastor, Darrell Beebe. Allison rushed into action. As I lay there writhing in pain, I began to pray for the man that Allison would remarry. I prayed that whoever marries my wife next will be a godly man who loves our kids. God, if you're going to take me now, because I can't bear this pain. Allison's memories. I remained by Kevin's side until we got to Providence Central Hospital. Once in the emergency room, the doctors would not let me go back to see Kevin. All I could do was pray. Meanwhile, in the emergency room, doctors struggled to stabilize my husband. As he gasped for air, they inserted a tube into his lung to attempt to reinflate the lung. Then stomach acid came out of Kevin's chest, and they realized he was in serious trouble. John 16:33, in the Passion Translation, it says, "And everything I have taught you is so that the peace which is in me will be in you, and will give you great confidence as you rest in me. For in this unbelieving world you will experience trouble and sorrows, but you must be courageous, for I have overcome the world." This is Pastor Kevin Lindley for the Holy Spirit Chronicles, and we'll continue with this story tomorrow. Love you all, and God bless.